What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Simply P back again with another daily dose. Okay, I know. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I have been missing in action. I am sorry. As everybody knows, I'm a financial advisor and work has been picking up for me, so that's a good thing and a blessing. But I gotta get back on my YouTube grind. Tall Guy, Mr. Organic, Officer DJ, they have been at my head. So I am back on my grind, being consistent. You know, I love to share knowledge, share my experiences with all you guys. And so I am back. Simply P is back in action. So forgive me for my long vacay away, but I'm here to stay. So today's video is about the money matrix. This is something that I was exposed to several years ago, and it really reshaped the way I think about money. Now, I know a lot of people haven't formally been taught about finances or money just in general. This is not something that they teach in school. So many of us tend to live in the moment and can't truly distinguish the difference between good and bad financial decisions. So today I want to teach you something that you can measure yourself up against, or a principle that you can live by that will help you get from the mind of a consumer and move toward the mind of an investor. The money matrix model is a very, very powerful tool. It will help you to identify the difference between a consumer mindset and an investor mindset, and how you view money and how you should use money as a wealth building tool instead of just living in the moment. It helps you think for the long term. So there are 4 different segments in these pyramids. Let's start with the first one. Number 1 is capital. Capital is money invested in anything expected to grow over time. Number 2 is cash flow. Cash flow is money generated from those investments. Number 3 is cash. And cash is money held in reserve for security or for future investments. And lastly, consumption. And consumption is money spent on anything not expected to grow in the future. So depreciating assets, anything, any of your discretionary money, that's consumption. So let's talk about these 2 pyramids that make up the money matrix. First, let's start with the consumer, aka the people that work for money. So I was in this category for a long time, and there's a lot of people that's in this category. Let me tell you how it would go. I would get paid. First thing I would do is take care of my basic living expenses. Then after that, you have a chunk left over. So that chunk that's left over, I would usually go online and do some online shopping. Things that I see, I would buy. I would be out at the mall. I would buy things. I would take money and set aside to do that. Then what's ever left over, I say, okay, I gotta live for these next 2 weeks till my next check. And I would do that. I was in this vicious cycle, basically living check to check, because that's all I knew. I didn't really know about investments. I didn't know much about the stock market. Really, it's scary if you don't truly understand it. So I'm not about to put my money in that. I see other people doing real estate, but I don't think I have enough money to get started in it, or I don't even know where to begin to start doing things with it. So I didn't really get in that. What I did with that money, I would save just a little bit just in case of a rainy day, because I always been an avid saver, but I wasn't letting my money work for me. So the first level of my pyramid was consumption. I would get my money, do basic expenses, and then buy stuff that I really like. The second is cash. I would have a little bit set aside for a rainy day. Then that third level for me was cash flow. So whatever I had after I put a little bit in savings, I would say, okay, I'm gonna live on this. This is my money. This is my cash flow money. And then very, very last, I thought about maybe I should invest my money. But I never really did. And that's what most people do. Now let's talk about the other side of the pyramid. The other side of the pyramid starts with an investor's mindset. What I have now. I think about when I get my check, the first thing I'm thinking is, what can I put my money into that will make me more money? How can I make my money work for me instead of me all the time working for my money? So I start researching. I start reading books. First thing I learned about was the stock market. I got a job to be an advisor. Got under a mentor that really taught me about the market, so no longer was I afraid to invest because I had knowledge about it. Another thing that you can do is real estate. So I put my capital not only in the stock market, but I saved up my money and I bought a duplex. Now that duplex was a way for me to make my money work for me and start bringing me income every month. Listen, if your money is your number one employee, it needs to always be working. Never chilling, never sleeping on a job, none of that. It needs to be working 24/7. So that's the first base of the pyramid. Get your capital and think about what you can put your money into that will make you money. Now the second level of that is cash flow. So I mentioned I have a duplex. I saved up for a good amount of time, then I bought a duplex. Now that duplex is paying me roughly $1,000 a month, and it's creating cash flow for me. So now while I'm at work trading my time for money, that's my earned income, I have another bucket over here, my duplex, giving me passive income. I'm not there at the duplex, but it's paying me every second. Real estate is one of the few things that you can invest in that pays you every second somebody occupies that space. Okay? They have to pay 24/7 to live there. As my cash flow starts to build, I start, saving all of these checks that I'm getting from my duplex. And I say, okay, now I got enough money to invest in other things. I could buy another property. I could put a little bit more in some dividend paying stocks that I may like. I do both of those. So I put a little bit in the market, and then I put a little bit, and I take a little bit and I buy another property, which is my plan. But that's how you start to build that cash reserve. And then whatever's left after I've invested and I got all my plans taken care of, my buckets, then I use the rest of that money as discretionary money. All right, to do things that I like. I do love clothes, so I'm gonna buy nice fly suits. I do love nice designer bags, so I do that. I love cars. These are all of my hobbies, but my hobbies come last. Listen, building wealth is a long-term thing. We live in a society that teaches us about instant gratification. We want it now. Wealth building is not microwave. It's more like cooking in a crock pot. You gotta let that thing simmer. You gotta get all them juices in there. And then after a long time sitting and building up, it'll come out to a great meal. And that's how you build wealth. It doesn't come overnight. There is no shortcut to success. I'm telling you. Only shortcuts that lead you to failure. That's the only shortcuts there are. When you're building wealth, it takes time. Year after year after year, investing in yourself, taking your first fruits, paying whatever money to God. Then after that, looking for investments that will pay you, that will build you equity. And then one day you will look up and that discretionary bucket we talked about last for an investor becomes bigger and you're able to do more things. I look at my boy, Tall Guy. He invested in himself. He took the money that he made from working at the gym and put it into his YouTube business. Boom. Then it started cracking. Bought the car. Now he's getting more views. He didn't take that money and buy and spend it on depreciating things. He put it back into his business. So now you look up 2 years later, 3 years later, you see him in London. You see him in France. You see him in Dubai. You see him driving McLarens. But that's what it does when you first take your money and you invest in yourself, or you invest in something that will bring you income, bring you more money. So I want to close by saying this. People with an investment mindset understand that the decisions that they make today will affect them not only today, but 1 year, 3 years, 20 years down the line. A person who has a consumption mindset only lives in the moment. In the end, it comes down to a person's ability to prioritize investing over consuming. And that's a decision that you have to make for yourself. Now, if you need help with what to invest in, what books to read, different things to do, please comment below and reach out to me. I'm on Instagram at Mr. Simply P. Shoot me a DM. I will gladly help anybody. This is my passion in life, to be able to pay it forward, all the lessons that I've learned. So if you have any questions, please leave them below. And also, if you have any video ideas or things that you would like me to do videos on, please leave them below as well. Let me know how you like this video, anything. I'm truly open to feedback. I want to interact with my subscribers. Well, it's your boy Simply P. All I can ever be is me. Until next time, peace.